Hi everyone and welcome back to LL Sports TV. Hope you're all doing well. By the time you watch this video, the Arsenal football team will be back from their warm weather training exercise out in Dubai, where unfortunately Kai Havertz picked up a season-ending injury. I think he tore his hamstring, and he's going to be out for the rest of the season. So by the time Arsenal play Leicester this weekend, away at Leicester, very important game, Arsenal will be down to just three fit forwards. Yes, just three fit forwards. They will be Leandro Trossard, Raheem Sterling, and a 17-year-old Ethan Nwaneri. That is the situation that Arsenal find themselves in. Three fit forwards. None of those are recognised striker, by the way. They're Arsenal basically down to the bare bones. And the reason for that is either what I call gross incompetence or gross negligence. Pick your choosing. I mean, neither one of those options is a good reflection on the club, who, let's be honest, have really screwed up here. I mean, you can go back to the end of last season and the start of this season. Most of the fans, if not all of the fans, were saying, look, we need to bring in a striker because Kai Havertz, he'd done reasonably well. I think he got something like 13 or 14 Premier League goals the previous season, had a good back end to last season, to be fair. Did his best, but I think most people will acknowledge that Kai Havertz is not the type of striker he's not a 20-plus Premier League season man. He never has been in his career. He didn't do it last season. Likewise with Gabriel Jesus, good player, just like Havertz, talented, can't question their work ethic. However, what you can question is their prolific ability to score goals. Neither of them have that, unfortunately. So if the club were being ambitious and really wanting to win things, you would have thought that they would have supplemented the forward line and tried to bring in a striker that is could get you to where you want to be in terms of scoring goals. I know the club were linked with the likes of Vlahovic and Sesko and Isak and one or two others, but nothing happened. Fast forward on to January this year. Again, the transfer window didn't get anyone. Very disappointing. A lot of the fans up in uproar, as well they might be, because they saw it as, again, the club not showing sufficient ambition. Didn't bring in anyone. Were linked with a series of names: Cunha, Sesko, who else? Ollie Watkins we were linked with. And the Ollie Watkins one is quite intuitive, actually, because with the Ollie Watkins signing, Villa, as we know now, were selling John Duran. There was talk that Arsenal would move for Ollie Watkins. A bid was put in for 40 million. Aston Villa said they wanted 60. Arsenal had submitted an introductory offer of 40 million. So you would have thought that that would have been turned down, which it was. Villa wanted 60. Arsenal didn't appear to go back with any backup offer. And that, therefore, the Ollie Watkins bid just kind of faded away. The upshot of that is that we didn't bring anybody in. And now, of course, we know that Kai Havertz, the club's main striker, top scorer this season, I think he's got something like 9 Premier League goals, 15 goals overall, 5 assists. He's played 34 games. He's done a lot of work. He's done his best, and now he's injured. Again, have we overworked him? Probably, yes. But we've not brought anybody in. We've not supplemented the forward line. So what is critical is now a crisis, and Arsenal are in a situation whereby you've still got a significant portion of the season left. I think we played 24 games, so you've got 14 Premier League games. You've got at least 2 games in the Champions League, because we're in the last 16 of that. So that's 16 games, and we haven't got a striker. Now, as I said before, this is a terrible situation. It's either incompetence or negligence. Pick your choosing. But it's a sad, sad indictment of where Arsenal are as a football club. And so my thing is, who's to blame? Is it the club? Is it the manager? Is it all a collection of all of those? I don't know. But serious questions now need to be asked of this board in particular. I mean, I'm going to say this here. I wouldn't have thought that the manager is responsible for this in its entirety. And the reason why I say that is we know that the manager was keen to bring in Ollie Watkins. We know that the manager has said on the record that he was disappointed that we didn't do any business in the transfer window. So that would seem to indicate that he definitely wanted to bring in players, but for whatever reason, the club couldn't do it. And I think it's going to cost them in the meantime. I mean, there is a school of thought to say that the club are holding back and they're going to go big in the summer, but we don't know if that's going to happen anyway. I mean, we've been down this road before where the club have made statements to that effect and nothing's happened. So why should we think any different this time? In the meantime, Arsenal, who are challenging on two major fronts, by the way, the Premier League and the Champions League, are going to do so when they're short of top quality players, especially in the forward area. So for me, that is nigh on criminal. And really and truly, I'm going to say this, head should roll over this. Because you simply cannot be doing this type of thing. There's an old saying in business, and it applies to sport at the top level as well. If you're not improving, you're degrading. And basically that means if you're not going to improve, especially when you're at the top or trying to get to the top, you just level off, you stagnate. And what happens is teams that were behind you, they will catch you up and surpass you, and you will never reach the top. So this is why I'm saying there's an acute lack of ambition at the club. And a lot of the fans are really peed off with it now, and I'm one of them. And like I said, we want answers, we want transparency. Personally, I think head should roll. I mean, they brought in a guy, A2. Nothing's happened there. I'd love to know why that is the case. We are starting to question now, more so, the leaving of Edu of the club last year. Edu left. It was a bit of a strange situation because, as far as we can see, the position that he's about to take up with the Forest Group was a job that he was offered before. He turned that down. So it seems pretty incongruous that halfway through this season, that Edu should leave his post at Arsenal and take up a job that he turned down previously, only to go on gardening leave. So yeah, that don't make no sense to me, and that might give an indication as to what is wrong at Arsenal. I mean, I really don't know. I'm speculating out loud. Maybe you guys can offer your thoughts in the comments, but it's a real bad situation. And for a big club like Arsenal to be in this situation is almost, it's mind-boggling. It really is. You know, I mean, you wouldn't run a Sunday side the way Arsenal are running their business at the moment. And I fear that it's going to have serious repercussions and consequences, because it's beginning to look like now, as much as I hate to say it, that we could end up going trophyless again this season. And, you know, come the end of the season, fans have to renew their season tickets and things like that. There's going to be a lot of upset fans. And unfortunately, that anger and frustration could be vented on the likes of the players and the manager, which is not really fair. I mean, think about the players for a minute. You know, their workloads have increased. They're not getting the support. And then they're likely to get the backlash of the fans unless they go on some unyieldy winning run and overcome Liverpool and win the Premier League, which, let's be honest, man, it's going to be a tall order. We're not out of the Premier League. I mean, there's still a lot of games to play. Anything could happen. Liverpool, you know, they've not won in their last two games, which there's some crumb for comfort there. But are we going to overhaul them, especially when we're so short on players? It's not looking good. You know, I've just got to be realistic and say what I think, and say what I've spoken about in online fans groups and chats with other people, fan channels, etc., etc. The situation right now is dire. The club have let the fans down. They've let the players down. Ultimately, they've let the club down itself, because this should not have happened. The playing staff should have been strengthened. Players should have been brought in the requisite positions. We've not done any of that, and here we are up against it. But anyway, it's just a quick video. I'll be interested to hear what you guys think. To me, it's either gross incompetence or gross negligence. You pick your card, you let me know which one it is, and I'll respond to as many of those as I possibly can. But in the meantime, thanks for watching the video. Really appreciate it. If you're new here to the channel, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. I am out.